What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. A couple things before we get into the topic, which I'm really excited about. First thing I want to let you guys know is that if you do enjoy these videos and you see the chat on the side of the screen and you think to yourself, man, I would love to be a part of that chat, I would love to have you. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch. I'll actually probably be streaming around the time that this video comes out. So if you're watching it right around when it's released, I would love to have you come into the Twitch and we can hang out for that. And also I want to let you guys know, if you are somebody that does like my vlogs, you miss the vlog type of content, I actually have an entire second channel where I have been uploading vlogs a few times a week over there, chronicling my triathlon journey, so all of my triathlon training sessions and everything like that. So if that's something that you do like and you do miss, you can go ahead and click on the link down in the description as well for that. But without further ado, let's get into the topic. Alrighty, so today we are going to be talking about fellow YouTuber Alexandria Rodriguez, or she was more popularly known and for quite a long time as Learning to Be Fearless, I believe was her name, something like that, Learning to Be Fearless. So there's been, I have to kind of go into the lore here, so just bear with me. So she has been kind of like a YouTuber that has been like a body positive YouTuber for quite a long time now, and apparently there has been some speculation about some sort of surgery that she got, and people were upset that she didn't talk about this surgery that she got. Okay, so I think that that's pretty much what you need to know about this particular video if you are like completely curious and you're completely in the dark, you have no idea what's going on. So I think that that's what the whole controversy is about. So it's basically about body positivity, and are you allowed to be body positive while also getting cosmetic surgeries or just surgeries in general to maybe change how you look or things like that, right? I think it's an interesting conversation, so let's see what she has to say. So the title of this video is called Telling My Truth.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I just want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you and talk about some stuff that's been weighing pretty heavy on my chest. I've never known if I should address how I'm feeling, or I feel like lately I've been trying to just like push it aside, focus on the positive, but lately like this channel has become really negative for my mental health.
So this is something that like it's really hard when you become an influencer or you become like in the public eye. Once it becomes normal for you to talk about a lot of things, and there's a lot of people because I know there was a lot of people like speculating, which again, is that okay? I'm not saying it is okay or it's not okay, but like once that starts happening, once people start speculating and you're in the public eye and then you just ignore it and you don't talk about it, like for a lot of people that makes them angry. And again, I'm not saying whether that's good or bad, but then the longer that you go without mentioning it, without acknowledging it, more and more people start to notice, and then those people start to be like, hey, like, why are you, like, they start to feel like you're not being truthful with them. And when it comes to being online, being like an online influencer or personality, like if the people that are watching you don't trust you anymore, like it's done, like game over, because they're not going to trust anything that you say, right? And so it's a slippery slope that you kind of get in when you start making videos and you start sharing your life. If you start hiding things and people start to notice, like people can get really nasty is all I'm trying to say.
And I'm trying to like take care of myself, and I just want to talk about some things. So I feel like this channel needs some healing right now. And I have a lot I want to talk about. So first and foremost, I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years now, and I have shared so much of my life. I've shared the ups and downs with my weight. I have shared the behind the scenes with like school and following your heart. You know, back when I started this channel, I was literally like in college for something totally different. I followed my heart and went to cosmetology school, and I fell in love with it and like preached following your heart. I've always just shared so much of my life, and unfortunately, as much as it's helped a lot of people from what messages I get every day, that means the world, it's also brought a lot of hard stuff to my life, just because you know, when you share more, you're more vulnerable, and it gives people more ammunition to, you know, critique you. It opens you up to more judgment.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100%, right? The more that you share, the more chances you have of people critiquing you. Like I remember when I used to do like full day of eatings, like constant, like a lot, people would like they would be like, why would you use this spoon for that bowl? And why did you do this with that? And why would you mix that with, it's like someone always has something to say about a way that you're doing something. That's a big reason why I don't like vlogging as much anymore, because it's like much easier to do these videos than to have to deal with thousands of people going about and like literally critiquing everything that you're doing, right? And so I want to make it clear that what I was saying earlier, I'm not saying that that stuff is okay, but I'm just saying for anyone that might want to do this, that's what happens, right? Like people get very invested and they sometimes get too invested, and then you deal with what I'm assuming that she is dealing with, you know, talking about in this video.
And something that has been really, really hard not to talk about, but also I didn't want to have to talk about it. I wanted to keep something to myself, but I get it. I've shared so much of my life. You know, when I don't share every little thing anymore, I feel like people get upset and make assumptions, and then it just spirals, and like I just feel like the hate has gotten just out of control on this channel, and like I've kept my heart in this, but I just like, I didn't want to talk about this because this, what I'm about to tell you, has been really, really hard on the internet for me. So obviously a lot of people have kind of figured it out, and I didn't want to talk about it because it's embarrassing, honestly. Like when I was younger on this channel, I would always preach about loving the fupa, embracing the lower tummy, not being afraid to wear high-waisted jeans and crop tops with them, right? And that's something I always stood by. And I ended up having some problems with my lower stomach. So if you have watched this channel, you know that my weight has fluctuated up and down, up and down, up and down, because you guys see it, it's out there. You know, when I start.
Okay, so this is where things get kind of dicey, right? So I've talked about this before, but I mean, I'm assuming what ended up happening was she got some skin removed or something like that, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and make that guess before we get into it. So this is where things get, because I've talked about this many times, like when you become someone that is known for being like a body positive influencer, it gets very, very dicey when you, like, if you at all start changing things about your body, right? Because then people are like, whoa, were you really body positive, right? So a good example would be, you know, I guess putting myself in her shoes, right? I've talked a lot about loose skin and about my loose skin and how I don't have any plans on getting rid of my loose skin. And I feel like I'm body positive, but I also don't think that someone that decides to get loose skin surgery can't be body positive. Like I don't put any rules on it. Like if you want to be positive about your body, but also get surgery to get rid of loose skin, that's totally fine. I have no issues with that, right? And so, but there are a lot of people that I can almost guarantee if I ended up getting loose skin surgery, there would be people that would be very, very, very upset about me doing that. And so, again, like I know that that's a thing, but I've tried to make it very clear that I don't think that if you do or you don't, it doesn't make you any more or less, like, quote unquote, body positive. But there are a lot of people that definitely do hold those beliefs.
Started YouTube, I was like 70 pounds lighter than I am right now. And my weight's always fluctuated. And my lower stomach, it's not just fat, it was also a lot of skin. And unfortunately, I started, it's just like, it just sucks that I have to share this. I almost feel like I'm being bullied into sharing this. But like, I owe an explanation because this was something that I was so passionate about, like embracing your lower tummy, because I know we all got lower tummies, but ultimately I started developing problems with my lower tummy because it had a lot of loose skin, a lot of fat, and underneath I started developing infections with like all the moisture. I couldn't keep it dry. I couldn't keep it clean. I was developing problems. This video is really really hard for me to make and talk about, and I just want to clean the slate because I don't want to be known as a liar and not telling you guys about it. Like, I see the comments every day about it, and I'm just like, because I know people are just gonna think I'm lying. I know people are just gonna assume that it was because I hated it. It caused me so many problems, like to literally the point where I asked my doctor, I'm like, can we just get rid of it? Like, it was just constant. Like, I just could not get the issues under control with it. Like, it was literally so raw and itchy and sore, like all.
So this is something that, I mean, definitely this happens. I mean, this happens a lot with like just loose skin. It's different. I've never heard of someone like gaining weight and then having like loose skin as you gain weight, but you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just, I think where people were kind of confused is, I'm not saying any of this is right, but I'm just trying to understand both sides. Where people were probably confused is like, if you're going to sit here and promote body positivity and being like, love your body, yada, 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 but then also go ahead and get like a surgery kind of and not tell anybody, I can understand why people will be confused. What I don't understand is then trying to bully this young lady and like say mean things to her. I personally probably would have just been open from the get-go and kind of like just said everything out, because then there's no reason to have to hide anything, right? You're just like, yo, this is what's happening. This is what I'm going to do about it. Let's move on. But again, like, I understand, like, not everyone's me, and we're all going to make different decisions. But I mean, it's a hard situation to be in for sure.
All the time. And I was very insecure about it. Not even the way it looked, but like the way it felt, the way it smelled. Like, I was just having problems. I was having so many problems with it. And I asked my doctor, I'm like, look, like, what's the solution here? Like, is it possible to get this removed? Like, is this considered a tummy tuck? Like, what is this? After trying like medicines, creams, every over-the-counter product, every like drug product from the doctor, like, it was just giving me enough problems where I looked into getting my lower stomach removed. Yes, I had it removed. Was it last year or the year before? I don't know, it's 2021 now, but I didn't share it. I didn't want to share it because I knew that this made me look like a hypocrite. And for the longest time, I was like, I shouldn't do this because, you know, I preach loving your fupa, loving your lower tummy. But genuinely, it was just causing me so many problems.
So, man, I mean, this sucks, man. Like, this is a terrible situation to be in. And this is like, I've talked about this before, like anyone that's in the body positivity movement at all, or like even if there's someone that's overweight that is preaching, you know, body positivity or fat positivity or whatever, and you end up like, I mean, most people don't end up like getting surgery, but even if you're like, I started having medical issues. I started having things that were going on with my body. Because she said it was like she started her channel 10 years ago, right? So things that happen when you're 20, I don't know how old she is, but like say things that happen when you're 20 or how things feel and how you feel about things might really change when you're 30. Like, and that doesn't make you a hypocrite. That doesn't make her a hypocrite. I'm not calling her that. That just is life, right? Things change over the years. Like, I might want to get surgery in 10 years. I don't freaking know. I don't know. How would I know that? There's nothing wrong with your mind changing over time. But it's the thing with influencers in particular, when your brand becomes a certain thing, it makes it even more difficult to want to change that thing, right? And that seems like the situation that she was in. Her brand became embracing her fupa or loving her body regardless. And then it becomes extra scary if you no longer feel that way, or like in her case, your body is like, yo, this ain't cool. Like, we need to do something about this, right? Like, that makes it much harder. It's no longer just, I need to do this for my quality of life. It's like, I should do this, but also, am I going to lose my followers? Are people going to like if that's now how you're making money, how am I going to work? Like, it becomes so much more than just, oh, you know, just need to get rid of this thing. Like, it is what it is.
So many problems. And I came to this point where I thought to myself, like, hey, this is something I really want to do for myself. Like, if you have a lower tummy, you might understand how it can get. Mine just got so severe. But also I have a couple friends with like the same lower stomach and they didn't have these problems. I don't know, I'm very sensitive. But nonetheless, I came to the point where I was thinking to myself like, hey, this is something you really want to do. Like, are you gonna not do it because the internet's gonna judge you? Like, or are you gonna do something for yourself that you really want to do for yourself? I decided to do it. And it's helped me very, very much. I don't have any of those issues anymore. It just feels so much better for me personally, physically. My doctor co-signed it. I had a really great experience. You know, I didn't have like a tummy tuck where they like pull it really tight and like tighten your abs. Like, no, like literally it was just to get rid of the flap.
I mean, even if you did though, like, who cares, right? Like, why is it a big deal? Even if you did get a full tummy tuck and they did tighten your abs and whatever, like, who cares? Why does that matter, right? So
I could heal underneath. And that's a huge secret. That's the big secret. Like, I never wanted to share this, but I get why people were upset that I didn't, because I do share so much online. I always have. But you know, now that I'm moving in the direction of having kids and getting older and like suffering mentally, like my mental health has not been well. And I know a lot of people are confused because, you know, my channel is going kind of in a different direction. Like, I don't think I want to share as much with vlogs right now. I don't know what the future holds, but mentally, I think I just need to like take a step back from vlogging.
So, I mean, it's sad, but this is the reality of like when you garner a following online, some people end up getting nasty and some people end up getting very, very, very into what you are, you know, what you're doing. And it's really sad because I saw someone in the chat, they kind of said something along the lines of a lot of like people that end up following influencers like her, maybe influencers like me, they see themselves in that, in the influencer they're following. And so when they make a decision that maybe they want to do themselves, they almost feel kind of attacked for it, right? And, you know, I think that, again, I'm not saying whether it's okay for people to do that. I don't think that it's cool at all. But I think one thing that would have definitely mitigated a lot of this would have been just kind of, I understand why she didn't do it. I get it. Like, and I'm not saying that you should have done this, but it would have definitely mitigated a lot of this if you're just open and honest from the get-go. Especially about something that was such a big part of your brand or whatever you want to call it in the beginning. Just be like, yo, it is going to suck. Like, you're going to have to rip that Band-Aid off and you're going to have to deal with some people being upset. But it's a lot easier to deal with that than to start dealing with internet detectives trying to figure out if you did this surgery or not. And then people figuring it out and then you having to make a video in reaction to the backlash that you are getting versus putting it out there in the beginning saying, I'm getting this surgery in a month or whatever, and deal with the backlash then. And then people can be like, all right, well, they can make their decision from there. We're not going to watch the whole video. I feel like we pretty much got what we needed out of this. There's no real reason. I feel like she's going through it. I don't want to like watch the whole thing. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. It sucks that she's going through that. I hope people can let her freaking live her life now and not feel like they have to be detectives anymore. Sadly, that's probably not going to be the case, but you know, it is what it is. That it's a sucky situation for sure.